There are way too many homeowners out there who have gotten screwed over by solar. You need to know these 10 things before getting solar so you don't end up being one of those negative statistics. Hi, I'm Tom with Premier Roof Solar. I've been helping homeowners save money on their power bills for the last 5 years with renewable energy. My goal is to educate homeowners like you and empower you to make the best decision for your unique situation. It can be super simple to sign up for solar nowadays, especially with the new DIY or AI-generated design websites. When it's that simple and easy, it's also easy to ruin it without even knowing it. You also don't want to let anyone gloss over things for you when you're setting it up. So in this video, I'll be covering 10 things that you need to know before getting solar so you don't go into it blindly. It's not too hard to understand all of these, just make sure that you watch to the end so you don't miss anything important. Number 1, the tax credit. Many homeowners misunderstand or are misled on the solar tax credit, aka the Federal Incentive Program, or Residential Energy Property Credit, not to be confused with the Energy Efficient Home Improvement Credit, and definitely not to be confused with the rebate, because that's not what it is. It's also not a deductible. It's 30% on the total cost of the project, and it goes as a credit towards your federal income taxes, which is based on your income that you report for the year. Most people are W-2 employees, which means that some money is withheld to pay those taxes, and you get that as an income tax return in the next tax season. So in most cases, you do get it as a check, which is part of those income tax returns that you get. Again, it depends on how much income you report. So if you're not able to take advantage of it fully in the first year, the IRS website says that it does carry over. It doesn't say for how many years though. Now, I'm not a CPA, so definitely talk to one, but the ones that I've spoken with say that it'll carry over for up to 5 years. Since it's based on income, if you're not reporting enough income to take advantage of it, or you don't think you will be able to take advantage of it, that does not disqualify you completely. There are plans where you can take advantage of this credit indirectly. Number 2, steer away from reps who talk in absolutes. I'm referring to those who say that cash is the only way to go, or that a lease or a power purchase agreement is the only way to go, or ones who say that a lease or a power purchase agreement is absolutely not the way to go. The reality is that any one of these options can make sense. It just depends on your unique set of circumstances. Anyone exclusively pushing or condemning any one of these is kind of a red flag, especially if you haven't disclosed your situation or what it is that you're trying to achieve. Which brings me to number 3, knowing what you're trying to achieve or why it is that you're getting solar. It's a very important piece, and you should know this so that you're not misled into a path that benefits the solar company or the solar rep rather than you. Number 4, consumption is a baseline for the system size. You should know as best you can how much electricity it is that you consume per year and be aware of any foreseeable changes to that. This is the number 1 thing that'll determine how many panels it is that you need, which dictates how much the system costs. You can find this easily on your account online or on your bill. If you haven't been in your home for at least 5 years, a good company or a good consultant should be able to get a pretty good estimate based on the square footage of your home, the size of your air conditioning unit, and any other high energy consumers like a pool pump or an electric vehicle and the mileage. Number 5, solar availability. What is that? What I mean is how many hours of sunlight those panels are going to get per year. We are in the northern hemisphere, meaning that the sun, which is closer to the equator south of us, is always angled south of us. So that means that the best place to put solar panels are on a roof that's facing south, and the least efficient place would be a roof that's facing north. Everyone's roof is different though, and south may not be an option. Plus, you have to take into account shading. If you have a lot of shade, or if you have to put many panels on a north facing roof, then you're going to need more panels to produce the energy that you need. And in most cases, not all, but most cases, it will cost more money to have those extra panels. Key little bonus tip here. If you look at your total cost of electricity for the past year, and you average it or divide it by 12, that'll give you your average cost of electricity for the last year. If you then subtract how much it costs for solar monthly, if you're going that route, then you'll get how much you're going to save per month by going solar. If you do a full payment up front, then you can take the net cost after the tax credit divided by the average monthly cost of electricity you pay now, and that'll tell you how many months it's going to take for you to break even or for you to get your return on investment. That's not taking into account the annual rate increases from the utility company. So in reality, it'll be a little sooner than the number you got. If you want to see if solar makes sense for you, or if you want to get another quote to compare, check the links in the description below. Number 6, the inverters. You have to know what kind of inverter it is that you're getting and confirm it in the paperwork or the agreement that you get from the solar company. And then if there are any changes to that paperwork throughout the process, double check it again. You want either microinverters or some type of hybrid with solar optimizers. That'll ensure that your system is up and running as much as possible. Number 7, the warranties. Before settling on a company, you need to know what warranties you're getting, what they cover, for how long, and most importantly, who's responsible for those warranties. Whoever's responsible needs to be a long-standing, reputable company that is preferably growing, which is a good indicator that this company will be around for a long time to service your system in the long term. I recommend also ensuring that whoever's responsible for the warranty has a customer service department that you can actually call. Number 8, the NEM or Net Energy Metering Agreement. You need to know what this looks like for the local utility that you have. Recent changes in certain areas will affect what kind of equipment it is that you need for maximum savings. You also want to know how the solar energy credits work with the local utility, when they expire if ever, and what the compensation looks like if there is any at all. Number 9, the timeline. You got to be aware of the timeline. The installation itself is usually pretty quick, but this is construction, so delays are not uncommon. Most importantly, you should know that most of the waiting is going to come from the permitting and inspection office from your local city or county, also known as the Authority Having Jurisdiction or AHJ. If you want to get solar before your high bill months hit, then plan on starting the process 4 or 5 months ahead of time to compensate for the city or county waiting periods. And number 10, know what the payment terms are before you pull the trigger. If you're paying monthly, make sure you know what kind of plan you're on and what the terms are. There could be some changes or requirements that you need to meet to avoid payment increases. Again, which is better between cash, lease, or loan is going to depend on you, your goals, your home, your property, your utility, your roof, your lifestyle, and any other number of conditions. I like to discuss all these with my clients to narrow it down to 1 or 2 paths. Otherwise, all the nuanced differences can get very confusing very fast. And the last thing you want is to do nothing by sheer virtue of decision exhaustion. That'll cost you tens of thousands of dollars in energy costs to the power company. In some cases, over the life of a system, the difference could be over $100,000 or more. Solar and everything you need to know about it, deciding which way makes the most sense for you, comparing companies and quotes can be overwhelming. If you want to know which mistakes you absolutely want to avoid when you get solar, then watch this video next.